All right, this is Getting Gripped, episode 2 with Ben
Getting
and Scott.
gripped. Getting ripped with the hand gripper things.
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of clarify. Getting gripped with Julia. It, I think it could be like a little bit, I don't know, like a different meaning for that. And this is not sexual. This is just, getting ourselves ripped through hand grip exercisers.
So
If this is not
grippage.
clear enough, look at my hands. This is a grip flexor workouter machine. That is why we're getting
That
gripped.
reminds me a little bit of a story. I went on a date a long time ago. It was a first and only date with this one girl, and I texted her that I'll come and grab her at 8 to pick her up for the date. And she said, "You will not be doing any grabbing." And so
Was it in like jest? Like clearly that's a common expression.
I do think she was being a little jestful, but also I think
There might have been a little bit of
making some clarification, some expectation. And fair enough.
Fair enough.
I wasn't planning on doing any grabbing, but it was nice that she made it clear that there'd be no grabbing. So this
That's
last
good.
weekend, we've each played The Last of Us Part 2 a bit. I've been going through the story.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the storytelling's really good. It's a little slower paced than I thought, but I haven't gotten to the juicy stuff, which, spoiler warning for anybody listening to this podcast, you have been warned. I don't know how you wouldn't have known by this point, but I haven't gotten to the part where Joel dies yet, which I know is at the very beginning.
Joel dies? No, that happens. And it's sad.
But it is. I've seen clips on YouTube, and I don't know if I'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, I definitely do a lot of like, ooh, like I'll be playing, then like, ooh, kind of like doing some of this, It's brutal. This game is pretty brutal.
When he plays the song on guitar for Ellie,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to learn that on guitar. It sounds so pretty.
It's so sweet. Pearl Jam, man.
Also, I played a little bit of the No Return roguelike mode, and Ellie is a bad A. Her character design, like, it's very enjoyable to play as Ellie.
Oh yeah.
Like, I feel like a freaking bad A. And when you play as Abby and she's throwing punches against what are they called, clickers and stuff? Like, oh my gosh! Like, whoa, she is just she's shredded.
Yeah. No, dude, for real. Like, playing as Abby is you feel like you're playing as The Rock. Like I just want to jump in there and just start punching people's faces. It's pretty fun.
Have you had a favorite character to play as yet in the roguelike mode?
Yeah. So quick summary of like my experience with it so far. I've been playing since the night it came out. I've been playing a ton of No Return, and I've been like figuring it out. I haven't unlocked all the players yet because I'm forcing myself to play on hard mode, no matter what, even if I die a million times, and I have died a million times. I've completed a run only twice. Once with Dina and once with Lev. In terms of my favorite player, it might be Jesse, just because I really his like play style is he gets a lot of extra resources while he so you can buy more guns, buy more this, get more supplements and all that jazz. And I thought that was going to be kind of dumb, like not really useful, but it was dope because you can just get all the guns and stuff you want essentially, and you just feel like a tank. And I'm kind of partial to the character. I just really liked him as a character in the game, so I think that's my answer for now.
Jesse was his first scene very fun to watch and play and watch and experience the game with as Ellie so far. He's funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I think he's well written. I like his kind of Jackson accent, and he's just
Does he die?
dang.
Please don't tell me he doesn't
so
want.
Cool. Dude, I'm not telling you anything because
as I've
you
been
already know
playing-
so many spoilers, and I don't want to give you any more spoilers.
Okay, that's fair enough. As I've been playing, I just keep thinking I sure hope this person doesn't die.
Yeah.
And I know there's one scene in particular where quite a few people die, and it gets pretty intense. And I'm like, dang. What? Also, okay, so Abby, I get the impression she's had a past relationship with his name Sam? He got
Sam?
Mel pregnant.
Oh, Owen.
Owen, sorry. Don't know where Sam came from. From the get-go, I'm like,
Last of Us Part 1.
I don't know if I can get. I don't know if I could trust this guy. He
Okay,
seems a little skeevy.
you need to clarify. You said you know the story, you know all the spoilers, but if you don't understand Owen's character at all, I kind of feel like you don't know the story and all the spoilers.
Well, okay. I know big
Not a judgment.
moments in the story.
I hope you don't know the story, but yeah.
Okay,
So what's
what do I do know? And maybe
Yeah.
that would be helpful for you to know. I know Joel dies.
Check.
Because Abby's dad was killed by Joel, and she was out for revenge. And I think she enlisted her friends to help her do that. I totally get why. There's a guy who killed everybody in a hospital. That's like pretty, well, from their perspective, extremely evil, and they want to get revenge. Ellie is super ticked off about that and goes on a revenge killing spree to get to Abby. A lot of people die along the way. I know that Mel dies. And that's a pretty controversial point, I think, because she was also pregnant. And I know that a few other people along the way die. I don't remember who, so that's going to be
Sure.
the part that will, I think, be surprising as I get through the story. And I know at the very end, I think somebody bites someone's fingers off or something, or cuts them off. And Ellie can't bring herself to kill Abby.
Gotcha.
And I know you
Okay.
play as Abby for the other half of the game.
Right.
So that's what I know.
Okay.
It's a story of extreme loss. Oh, I also know that I think Ellie and Dina's relationship goes on the rocks after a while because of Ellie's obsession with getting to Abby.
Sure.
And I think at the end she comes home and Dina's not there.
Gotcha.
But that's what I know. That's what I know.
Okay, I think I'm not gonna confirm. I'll try not to confirm or deny as much as I can, just in case. There's still some room for some surprise and exploration with the story, but yeah, I think you kind of have a good grasp on the majority of the main story beats. But I'm excited. So I'm excited for you to understand all the little nuances, all the little enmeshment that happens between the characters, and because it's Naughty Dog. When it comes to storytelling, master class in terms of characters, it's awesome. It's just so good. And Last of Us 2 is it's one of my top favorite games of all time, and
that's what I hear
gnarly.
when people play it. They've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I also hope Shimmer doesn't die.
Oh yeah, Shimmer.
Which I think is a really funny name for the horse that Ellie rides, because I just feel like that is not what Ellie would have
Yeah,
named
not
the horse.
her. Her horse should be named F face. I will kill you.
Yeah. Okay, but that's that. I know that I've been dying to talk to you about Spiderman II, the video game.
Yes.
Okay. I think right
Actually,
from the get-go...
Quick
Oh.
pause. Quick pause. If you don't mind me
Alright.
jumping in here, I'm pausing
Go
you.
Go ahead.
Because I want to talk about Spider-Man 2. But also, I just want a quick, give me a little Ben update. How have you been? We talked last week.
Yeah.
What you been up to in the last little bit?
The last week, great question. It's been really cold here in New Jersey this last week, and our apartment's been
How
freezing.
cold?
Low 20s in the teens, which doesn't sound
Yeah,
super
that's cold.
cold compared to Utah sometimes. I know that you guys have had some big snowstorms. This has been the first time in over a year snow is stuck on the ground in Manhattan and New Jersey.
Oh, word.
So it wouldn't be that big of a deal if our apartment wasn't freezing. And we got our electric bill that we standing.
We're standing, bro.
But other than that, though, my week's been pretty good. Work's been good, and I've been making a lot of plans for YouTube because it's exciting and fun. And
Hey-o.
I came up with this idea for my own channel, and I decided I was going to do cozy editing days where it's almost like this meditative spend the day with me as I edit a video.
Okay.
Which sounds boring, but I could show you the storyboard sometime. It's still boring, but I just love watching that kind of stuff. It's nice to have on in the background. But what about you, Scott? I know you were watching your sister's dog.
I was watching my sister's dog. Yeah, no, I'll give you an update, but real quick, I just want to. You don't have to get into this whole storyboard of it, but I do understand a little bit more of the premise. So is it like it's cozy editing videos? Is it a video of you editing videos in like a cozy environment, or is it like what's the kind of conceit of the thing?
All right. I'll share my screen with you.
Show me.
Let me quickly just exit this. Okay. Just making sure that the screen recording is not capturing anything that would inhibit my work for my job. Okay,
so hiding the pornography. I'm just kidding. Kidding.
No way. So this is my work. Okay, this is my Fulfilm stuff. Fulfilm is my freelance gig stuff where I make videos. Mm-hmm. So I have this kind of idea. This isn't necessarily in sequential order, but it's like the shots I would get to capture just like a cozy day of editing. And the background's like this nice lo-fi jazz almost. And the idea would be that people would just kind of put it on and just kind of feel relaxed. Videos would range from like 10 to 30 minutes where I would show like turning on my equipment, turning on my hard drives and the lights, putting on some music, sitting at my computer and kind of keeping track of the time on screen every once in a while, 10:06 a.m., 2:37 p.m., getting some screen recordings or just close up to what I'm doing on my computer through my edits. And some shots here, potentially unboxing stuff. Like if I get a package, I'm planning on getting some picture frames at some point. Maybe riding my bike, putting in my earbuds, relaxing, and then just doing like a thanks for watching video and potentially showing like what I did that day in the edit. Like what did I achieve? That's kind of in the works. But that is, in general, what I envision the videos to be like. If you've ever watched a Willem Verbeek video, he does film photography. They're almost like little vlogs, and they're very peaceful and fun to watch. So I was trying to figure out what's the video version of that. I want to make stuff like that too. So
sweet. Yeah. I actually, at least that storyboard stuff, I think that seemed like a really cool idea. I think you should do it.
And hopefully it's really simple because I work in the film industry, and sometimes I think there's a lot of pressure to like make your lighting look really good, or else you're not a real professional. But I want to maybe try to make it feel a little bit more honest, although it's like romanticizing video editing, but I don't want to overly romanticize it. I wanted to feel still kind of honest. But anywho, that's that. But thank you for following up and asking. It's kind of fun to share. What are your thoughts? Is that like cool to you?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen a video like that, but I will say this. I have been writing hard the lo-fi beats to like study to business, you know? And so when it comes to just having like a background, kind of like a soothing, cozy piece of thing happening to kind of have your mind kind of chill out in this mental space, like I value that. I think it's really cool. I think it's I appreciate that form of content and what it does. And you know, I think a lot of people in the industry probably equate video editing to like time constraints and deadlines and stress, and the idea of having it like also it's fun and relaxing and sort of an art, you know, you're putting together a story. Like that doesn't have to be a stressful thing. I think that's a healthy, fun kind of spin to do on it. I don't know if that was kind of cool, more than what you're looking for.
No, that's actually a really cool perspective because one of the projects I would be editing is a passion project of mine. What's been really nice about this passion project is there's no client. I am the client. I could take my time with this project. I want to get it done. But it's been really nice to kind of give it time. I filmed it last November, so it's been a while. But it's nice to kind of give it that time to breathe and to let me think of like what's the best route for this project without the pressure of time. Yeah. Okay, but to you, you're weak.
Sorry, I just got to make sure people are updated.
I didn't say you are weak. I said let me tell you you're weak.
So, yeah, Scott, you're a weak person. Let me prove you wrong, Ben.
That's what it almost felt like when you pop up with the.
Uh, yeah, you're calling me weak? Can a weak person do this?
I wish I could hear that click.
Wrong.
I hope you edit one
Oh,
in.
you can't. Here. Did you hear that?
No.
What about that?
No.
Really? It must be like filtering out non-voice
Zoom's really good at
noises.
that. I have
Okay.
Noah, my daughter, crying a lot in the background of some Zoom meetings, and they don't hear her.
Wow. Thank you,
Okay,
Zoom.
sorry, but please, you're weak.
You're good. No, it probably sounds like I'm trying to avoid my week. Not the case. Yeah, last week was good. I was dog sitting my sister's dog, Harvey, and in the middle of it, we just got a bunch of snow, and so it was a lot of walking in the snow, taking him on walks, going to the park in the snow, chasing the ball in the snow, him losing the ball in the snow, and I mean that's probably the highlight of like the work week was just taking care of Harvey, the polite puppy. Um, I really like that kind of time because it just kind of reminds me that like I don't know, it's okay to spend a lot of chunk of your day just to do things that just to survive. I kind of get annoyed when I have to like eat or like work out or I have like unproductive time because I just have to spend it getting groceries. I call it unproductive time, but taking care of like another life and making sure they live. It's just kind of a reminder that like, you know what? That's kind of what humans are built for. Like it's okay if a big chunk of our day is just things that we need to do to survive. And he's also very snuggly, and so that was also a good part of it in just getting nonstop affection from a dog, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Your video is very cute.
Thank you. And I filmed a lot of it, and I made a little video of it, and I was debating if I should post it or not on our channel, but then I remembered it's just stuff we want to do, and this is something I wanted to do, and so I did it, and it was great, and I love it. I watched it a few times myself, and it's great. And then the weekend was good. I during the days didn't do much, but each evening I was proud of myself. I'd planned Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to hang out with, spend time with different friends/family. So I hung out with Eli and Ashley on Friday. Hung out. Oh, you know all these people. And Isaac and Brienne and Joe on Saturday. We played some games, which was great.
How are they doing? I haven't seen them in forever.
Dude, they're so good. Oh, and I actually told them about this channel. They might actually even watch this. You never know. And I became
little shout out to our friends.
Isaac and Brienne, what up?
Our Patreons.
And Joe, maybe.
Maybe Joe.
But get this, Isaac, I think recently got PlayStation Plus as well, and now we're friends, and we should definitely play a game
add me.
sometime together.
What should we? I mean, there's not a ton of big multiplayer games except Fortnite. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a multiplayer game that maybe we'd be interested in doing.
Okay, dude,
it's on PlayStation Plus.
I haven't played any of the Borderland games, so that would be a new thing for me. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it could be fun. But that sounds awesome, man. That sounds like a great weekend.
Yeah, it was great. And then yesterday I had dinner with a cousin, which was awesome. So that was kind of it. And in between all of that, I just played lots of The Last of Us, No Return, and I've actually done I'm doing the story mode from scratch as well. So we'll be going on in tandem. Yeah.
Oh, how far are you in the story?
I think I'm a bit farther than you. I'm already in Seattle doing some stuff. So.
Okay. All right. I want to get a little farther. So we shall see. Did you watch The Last of Us show?
I did. Yeah, and I really liked it.
Okay. I haven't watched it yet, but
gotcha.
I will soon, I guess.
Because I do know you've played and you really liked Last of Us Part 1.
I did. Yeah. The first one was great. Such a sad ending, but you feel for Joel. I think that what they did is you really feel for the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We know our weeks now.
Yeah. Now Spider-Man.
Can we talk about Spider-Man 2?
You're like, all right, Scott. You're really boring. We need to get to the good stuff.
Okay. Quick gut reaction. 1 out of 10. What do you give Spider-Man 2?
I'd give it a 7.
I was thinking 6.5 for me.
Yeah, 6 or 7. Oh my gosh, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Context, I would give the other Spider-Mans, Spider-Man 1, I guess, and
Miles
the Miles Morales Spider-Man, I would give those like solid 9, probably. Um,
I would
so
give
I
Miles
think that's an
1
important
8.
part of the equation.
Yeah, I'd give Miles Morales 1 8 and then Spider-Man 1 9.
Yeah.
I feel like the ending for Miles Morales wasn't as impactful as the ending of Spider-Man 1. Um,
Yeah, I would agree.
but I thought it was a great step up, and it was fun to play New York in the winter.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
okay, I feel like Miles was cooler in Miles Morales than he was in Spider-Man 2.
Really. I don't necessarily disagree. I can't really think of a lot of data to back that up. What makes you say that?
Okay, I love Miles Morales. The
Yeah.
Spider-Verse movies are great films. He's a really cool, interesting character. When he was introduced in, was it Ultimate Spider-Man? Uh,
Hmm.
really cool character. I think they did him dirty in Spider-Man 2. His missions never really affected the overall plot, and like he was dorky as bleep. Like I don't know what they did, but whatever coolness factor he had in Miles
Uh huh.
Morales or the Spider-Verse films, like he is dorkier than teenage Peter Parker. I don't know how they managed it. His DJ levels were terrible, or it was just one DJ level. But I was like, "What's going
Yeah.
on here?
Right.
What's happening?" Um, he's got cool powers, but
Yeah.
I just
Well,
yeah.
I think I agree with you. Like, in terms of story beats, his own Miles Morales game, like, yeah, not as impactful, not as grandiose, not as intense as Spider-Man, Peter Parker's, but I still think it was really good. I think I really enjoyed that story, and I agree. But in Spider-Man 2, his half of the game, it's like fun to play, but the story's pretty forgettable, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I beat it like probably a month or two ago, so it's like, okay, here's what I remember. I remember Martin Lee was the guy who killed his dad, and he's mad about it, and then eventually they team up, and he's applying for college. I think that's sort of it. You know,
Yeah,
like I think that's it.
and I don't think it necessarily needed to have too many more story elements, but to expound on those a little bit more. I think the journey they did with Martin Lee and Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man was, and by the way, I guess spoilers because I want to talk about the story.
Oh yeah,
Um,
spoilers. I already yeah.
uh, but Miles, his journey with Mr. Lee, I think there could have been more beats in the story to expound on that more.
Mm-hmm.
There could have probably been more dark moments with Miles, like wanting to really kill Mr. Lee a few more times. Maybe they have a few run-ins. Maybe he almost does a couple times instead of just not saving him. Maybe he punches the lights out of him.
Yeah.
His negative whatever
His
he does.
his negativity punches it right out
But
of him.
if you don't mind, I'd like to maybe just really quick explain my beef with Spider-Man 2.
Hold on, I wanted to respond to
Okay.
what you just said because I agree with it. I think one of the main thing, like I think one sort of plot point that I thought was cool that they left that they didn't take advantage of was when it's like that ship is like sinking into the water and then Martin Lee is a prisoner in that ship and so Miles goes in and he like hesitates to like save Martin Lee because like if I do nothing he'll just drown and then Martin Lee sees that like he observes that but I think just thinks that Spider-Man is just gonna like kill him like let him die. um I thought that was a really interesting sort of like thing to do with the plot. But then, if I recall right, they really didn't dig into that. They Martin Lee wasn't like, I'm gonna kill Spider-Man because he was gonna let me die. Like there's no repercussions for that. So it's like
Yeah.
they could have. You're right, done a bit more beats there. That would have made it a way more gratifying sort of journey. But
Yeah. And then the big twist of the game, Harry Osborn is Venom. And I don't mind Harry being Venom. What I do mind is his character did not like align with Venom's motives ever. Harry was a good guy. And
great guy.
and I also thought it was a little strange that Peter was like, you can't have the suit back. Harry never like had problems with the suit. It was only until Spider-Man got it and he had problems with the suit. So I just thought like they kind of forced some story elements in there. I was hoping as a player that the suit would have left Spider-Man to go to Kraven because it aligns with Kraven's motives of hunting and killing and becoming the
For sure.
ultimate predator. I was like, that would have been a good twist. Kraven becoming Venom. That's interesting. But here's my beef. My beef with the game.
Give me your beef.
My main one. So we kind of expressed that already. I think it would have been better with Kraven, blah, blah, blah. Miles is really dorky in this game. But throughout the whole plot, there's two Spider-Men. And they're having really big issues balancing their lives. Peter can't pay for... Oh, there's balloons. for doing
woohoo.
For those of you listening, Zoom has reactions. And I did a peace sign and balloons flew up. Anywho... they both are struggling living their lives. Peter can't pay the mortgage on Aunt May's home that he now has. His relationship with Mary Jane's a little strained. And Miles, he's being Spider-Man so much that he's not really seeing his friends, a potential love interest, and writing a college essay. Like, he cannot balance his life right now. And there's two Spider-Men to do all this. And you go through this game, and that does not ever get better. None of those things get better, except Peter kind of has a good job lined up if he stops being Spider-Man, which is always an interesting story. Like, when there's less Spider-Man, Peter's life gets better. When there's less Peter, Spider-Man's life gets a little bit better. So
right.
That's an interesting part of being Spider-Man. But at the end of the game, when all is said and done, Peter decides to retire and give everything to Miles, and Miles is like, yes, I will be Spider-Man for the city. Guys, you could barely handle it, both of you guys at the same time. Peter, your life sucked before when you tried to balance both, and now you're going to do the same thing to Miles. What's going to be better in Miles' life for him being just Spider-Man, the only Spider-Man in the city? It kind of drove me a little nuts. I think what they could have done, and what they should have done this whole time, is take shifts. You're Spider-Man Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm Spider-Man Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Like, why don't they do that? Get your
alternate days and
aligned.
then team up on Sundays or rest.
And Peter, like, you're the owner of this business. You don't have to be there every single day. You can, like, finagle a structure that works beneficial to your life and, heaven forbid, help Miles with his own life so he can live. I just thought that it was a very undeserving ending. It would have been better if Miles proved throughout the game that he could be Spider-Man and balance his life, unlike Peter.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a good point.
When that happened at the end, I was like, are you kidding me? And then Miles is wearing his Colgate Adidas outfit, swinging away.
I haven't heard that, but that's funny.
His stripes always reminded me of Colgate, like toothpaste. And that was a bad fit. I do not know what they were thinking there.
That is really funny. Okay.
But, yeah, I didn't hate the game. I thought it was still overall pretty good. I did not like the final Venom fight. I felt like that was a little over the top. Venom has demon wings and is flying around. I thought that was just... I'm sure there was a comic book where that was featured at one point. Or when Mary Jane became Scream.
Yeah. Shriek? Scream?
Or Shriek? One of those two. I don't know.
I actually don't know.
She became a Venom character that some really deep fans would maybe have enjoyed seeing. But I thought that was strange. Oh, okay. Sorry, Scott. I'm talking a lot. I got to do my one last critique.
Please. No, I want
Mary Jane Watson missions. They were cool. Like, I think they were a step above last time. They were good stealth missions. Mm-hmm. But why the heck am I Spider-Man punching these guys 20 times before they go down? And she one-shots them all. Give me her tool. I want what she has.
I'll have what she's having.
But yeah, okay. That's my critique.
OP Mary Jane. That's funny.
Okay. You now have a chance to respond to everything I just said.
I think you're pretty dead on. I would agree with all of those points. So I'm not gonna refute any of those claims. I think one of the biggest sort of issues I had with Venom. No, with the game was the Venom world takeover bits. Like, I don't know. Obviously, it's a superhero game, so it's like, it doesn't. How realistic is it gonna be, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. Venom was like crash landed somewhere near New York, this little symbiote goop, and then like I'm just like, how on earth are so many symbiotes taking over the world, taking over Manhattan, and there's these giant nests, all out of like this little goop, like. I don't know. Does that sort of critique make sense? I was just like, where are all these symbiotes coming from?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
If there was like, if coming into orbit was like an alien ship and it said, give us back Venom or we will come and like kill you. And then they send out a million little like drop ships that go start taking over humans. Like that would have made more sense in terms of the scope of like, how many symbiotes were like taking but no, they all just came from Venom. Like, did Venom, are these his babies? Like, is when Venom, Shriek, and like Venom are interacting, is it the same person? Like, is it actually a hive mind, or is it like they have like their own identities? I don't know, because like I know the whole Venom Carnage, like there is a whole in the comics a story arc where like Venom symbiotes take over a bunch of stuff, but like I don't know, man. I was like, whoa, this is a crazy third act. This is an alien invasion. You know, this is not a Spider-Man game anymore.
And they kept they keep coming. There's so many of these symbiotes, and they're pretty annoying to fight. I don't think they're very fun to fight.
Yeah, I would agree.
You're ripping people out of the bodies. Get the symbiote off. It's like, oh wow. You know, so did you ever play Skyrim?
Like once. I kind of missed that.
Really? Okay. Well, in Skyrim there was random dragon attacks.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been cool if Venom was in the game more, and like you would randomly just get jumped by Venom, and it became like a fight for survival.
Whoa, that'd be cool. I didn't think of that.
That would have been really fun, but they kill him off.
Yeah. And I will say this. The Venom sequence where you play as Venom, like, and like the game isn't an alien invasion yet, it's just a Venom part game. I thought that ruled when you were Harry as Venom, killing all these guys. Like, I thought they nailed it. Home run. And then you have to fight with Kraven. Home run. No complaints. That ruled.
It was cool
but then the game had another act after that. I was like, whoa. Anyway, yeah.
I feel like, yeah. When he bites Kraven's head off, I was like, okay, this can get serious. Like, this can they can take this dark. And then I felt like it got pretty cartoony after that.
Yeah. Alien invasion. Cartoons. That's what I'm talking about. So I think if I were to have tweaked it a bit, if I were to like make it a game that I was more into, no. Don't make Venom reproduce into like millions of himself and like take like alien invasion. Give me Venom, maybe Carnage, maybe a third guy. That's it. That's all we need. That like those are that's like my favorite version of Spider-Man versus the symbiotes. It's not when like and like if Venom is a giant, super duper crazy, incredibly difficult boss battle with 3 phases and he's like immortal, then how come you can just punch one of the other symbiotes like 5 times and then they like vanish into thin air? Like that doesn't track.
Yeah, the continuity is not super solid there.
Okay, so that's one beef. Then I think the only other sort of beef I had was and this is, I think I'm gonna be fair here. I think this is a nitpick. This is really just an idea I had, and I'm mad they didn't do it. But so bear that in mind. I thought that I think for the most part, Miles and Peter play the exact same. Like they're both Spider-Man. They swing the same way. They have the same buttons that do the same combos. They both got the same gadgets, and even like their finisher moves, like they are effectively, they look different, but they're the same. I thought that was a huge missed opportunity. Miles can turn invisible. Miles can shoot electricity out of his like hands and stuff. Peter is a genius and can invent robots. Like I think they should have leaned into that. Like have
Totally
you know what I'm
agree.
talking about? Like it's
I was kind of upset
what is the
they gave
point of having
Miles.
two Spider-Man if they're the same Spider-Man?
I was a little disappointed. Like they gave Miles more powers, and they also made Peter have more powers. Like Peter didn't need more powers. That like I
Yeah.
just feel like takes away a lot of what makes Spider-Man cool. Is like he doesn't have goo that stretches at will, and I just
Yeah.
thought that was. I'm curious on how they're going to do the third one because they've set up a lot.
It kind of felt like the script, or like in terms of like the powers, not the script. This would be really mean if that's actually what it meant. But it sort of felt like some of the gameplay like ideas were being engineered by like a 7-year-old who's like, and then let's say Spider-Man can do this, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then Spider-Man can do this, and like they're just kind of have this crazy imagination that you can just kind of do everything, and both of them can do. I don't know that I don't know if that thought was really coherent, but it was just like I think games are kind of funner if you're not immortal and you can't do everything. Anyway.
Yeah, let me be threatened a little bit. Like that's why Venom random events would have been really cool in the game. Like let me be like running for my life potentially. Maybe the only thing I could do is get out of there and not defeat everything I come in contact with.
Yeah.
When I compare it to the first game, one thing I really liked about the first game was there was a lot to do. I loved spending hours in New York City. I never fast traveled. I swung everywhere. And this game, I fast traveled because I just didn't feel like there was any point of like, what am I going to do from point A to point B that's worth my time? And plus, it was fun to see the PS5 loading screens like be so fast.
Oh, it's crazy.
But
Yeah.
we've been beefing on it a lot. The positives, overall, not the worst story in the world. Like, even though it's not as good as the other ones, like I enjoyed playing it while I waited for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, not bad, not bad. A solid 6 out of 5, 6.5 out of 10. I'm curious what the DLCs will bring. If it will make it more fun.
Because if I remember right, I haven't 100%ed Spider-Man 2, but I've done like most of like the main plots. I remember one that teased Carnage. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Did you finish that whole plot yet?
That plot, I think I did, because you have this big fight with Wraith and this crazy guy who I thought it was cool how they, because I think in the comics I'm familiar with, Cletus Cassidy, the Carnage guy, he's kind of just like a psycho murderer dude. And if I'm remembering the game right, they made it more of like a cult. Like he's like this religious fanatic guy, and I thought that was a cool twist.
Cool twist.
So I'm on board. Like that side quest, 2 thumbs up.
Does seem like based off Miles' costumes that he will be kind of like facing Carnage on his own there. I think Spider-Man 2 would have been better off if like there was a sad ending. Like I would have been okay if Peter Parker died.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was too happy of an ending. Like even Harry's not dead. The only person that's dead is Craven.
Yeah. But like he was gonna die, you know. Yeah, I think that's an interesting critique. I don't think that the game would have needed a death for it to be like a good, like a worthwhile or like a praiseworthy ending. But in the same token, like Spider-Man's main, like one of his main, I don't know, character dilemmas constantly is death. It's like people around him dying. So if that were to have happened, like I think it would have been on brand. It wouldn't have been like a cheap shot or anything, like a cheap, let's stoke some emotion out of the viewer. You know, I don't know. Kind of a ramble there.
Well, I mean, remember in the first game, he has to choose between saving his Aunt May or saving New York City. That was good. In his
Super
fight with
good.
Doctor Octopus and just like the yelling and the emotion, it really
Oh,
good.
home run. 10 out of 10
And even though I don't love that, like,
ending.
I think my least favorite trope that the Spider-Man games and Spider-Man in general does is all of his friends are very interconnected in the Spider-Man world. Like, oh, you're my best friend and also my arch enemy, and my uncle's my arch enemy, and my boss is my arch enemy, and just like, can we just have some distance here? Like, Cletus Cassidy has no relation to Spider-Man. Great. I don't think we need uh, a personal relationship with Spider-Man every
Yeah.
time. New
Yeah.
York's a big city.
I'd agree with that. I can see why the writers do it, because it adds stakes not just to Spider-Man but to Peter Parker. But I think you're absolutely right. Like that shouldn't be a crutch for people when
Yeah,
they're
let's have
crafting these
some people
stories.
that way, but
It's
not
fine.
every single one.
Yeah, dude, freaking amen.
But yeah, okay. We can move on from Spider-Man if you want.
Just last thought I had
Okay.
was previous to these latest iterations of Spider-Man, like 2018 and Miles Morales and then Spider-Man 2, what other Spider-Man games did you play?
Ooh, great question. If I'm completely honest, I don't recall playing too many. Just if I was at my cousin's house and they had it on their PlayStation, I would swing around. The only one I remember
Yeah.
playing a lot as a kid, well, there were two actually. Whichever one was on PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And then I would play a demo that I think I got from a cereal box or something of
Mm-hmm.
the Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 1 with Tobey
Yes.
Maguire. And I remember
Nice.
playing that as long as I could because we didn't have the full game.
Right. Oh, I love that they did that. That makes me so happy. Thank you for sharing that memory with me. Um, no, I bring that up because I've been playing Spider games like forever. Because it's such a fun premise. You don't fly, you swing from things. Like, I don't know why. Like, the core of Spider Man is just an awesomely fun traversal thing, right? So I think I played the same PlayStation Spider Man you did. Then I played the movie Spider Man 1. And then I played the heck out of movie Spider Man 2. That was like really open world Spider Man for the first time.
Mm.
And then this is the kind of the point I wanted to get to. And then I also played the heck out of Ultimate Spider-Man. They made a game out of that. Did you ever play or see footage of that?
Is that Shattered Dimensions or is that a different one?
No, it came before that.
Okay.
Um, Ultimate Spider-Man was based from the comics, and like it looked like a comic book, the art style and everything, which is pretty fun, pretty cool. But the big twist in that is that half the game you're Spider-Man, half the game you're Venom. During the day you're Spider-Man, at night you're
Oh,
Venom.
interesting.
And so you get a free play as Venom, and you don't necessarily like swing from everything like Spider-Man, but you jump from buildings like crazy. You can throw cars. You literally like eat people, and it was pretty sweet. And so like, and that game came out like when I was in high school, like I think like over 10 years ago, sort of deal. Um, and when you play the Venom sequence where you are as Venom in this recent Spider-Man 2, I was like, yes, this feels familiar. This feels just like, playing whatever. And I was bummed that that's sort of where it stopped, like you have that level and you can't like free play. There's nothing like that. And granted, that's not what the story called for, but I don't know. It was just like they've done these really cool things like decades ago. It's what it feels like. It's not decades ago, but it feels like a decade ago. And I think we're having trouble revisiting some of that with the Spider-Man 2 game, and it's like we're so close.
No, totally. I feel like even though I didn't play those games, I had the coloring books, and I loved coloring Venom and Spider-Man. Which
Oh yeah.
Venom, what a boring character to color. He's just black and white.
Or
Um,
purple, depending on the
but
shade.
right, I remember really enjoying that. And what's fun about Venom is he's an anti-hero and villain. Like
Mm.
he can kind of pick and choose. And I think the reason he's able to do that is because he's a real threat to Spider-Man. Like he is not easily defeated compared to other Spider-Man characters and villains. Like he's intense, and I wish he stuck around more.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
And Eddie Brock was a really important part of that too. Like, it wasn't just Venom. Eddie was his own
Right.
character as well,
Mhm.
who had his own life, and just interesting.
Hey, man. Yeah, I'm good on Spider-Man now. If you wanted to
We're all
move on.
Spider-Man out.
I'm Spider-Man now.
You've seen the movie though, right? Into the Spider-Verse 2?
Dude, that's honestly one
Or
of my
Across the
favorite
Spider-Verse?
movies. Probably like top tier superhero movie all time. Yes.
My favorite part of that movie is when he says, "Thank you, Lego Spider-Man. You're one of our best."
You're one of our best. Beep boop beep.
Yeah, it was just so funny. That's
Dude, did you know that like a 12-year-old kid did that whole Lego sequence or whatever?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think that's a really cool way to just like make people feel passionate about what you're creating.
Yeah, it ruled.
And it seems like they're bringing that in actually to the Spider-Man games. There does seem like there's going to be crossover.
Like how do you mean? Like from the Spider-Verse movies?
That might be a little spoiler. My apologies.
I don't know.
Collect the spider bots. Collect the spider bots in the game, and
I mean, I've collected a whole bunch of them. Do you need all of them?
You need to collect all of them.
Okay.
And
duly noted.
There's a fun tease going on there. And if you recall too, the Insomniac Spider-Man, he was in the Spider-Verse movie.
In the Spider-Verse movies. No, that's right. It's totally right. Yeah.
So who knows?
Just saying.
I don't know, because he retired for some reason. So Miles can have a miserable life, I guess.
Sorry, Miles.
Okay. So this week, I'm going to try to keep playing Last of Us 2. Nice. I'm going to work on my YouTube stuff. I do have an Alan Wake video planned. I have the title ready. Do you want to hear the title, the hook?
Yes, so badly.
Alan Wake 2 is Twin Peaks, but better. And
oh, dude, you're going to make the hipsters so mad.
I watched Twin Peaks. Have you watched Twin Peaks?
No, actually. I just know that it's like a beloved, sacred, like piece of film that, like, if you rag on it, the cinephiles will eat you up.
I want to rag on it in the most loving way possible because I watched Twin Peaks. I haven't watched the new season, which came out, I want to say 2018.
With
maybe
Michael Cera in it.
Yeah, Michael Cera does make an appearance. And it was very well received. But I'll jump into this more in my video because I want to like write it down more of like a video essay stuff. When Twin Peaks did what Twin Peaks does best, it is some of the best TV show, movie that you can watch. It's terrifying. It's mysterious. It's spooky. It's funny. But then they do just a lot of... Yeah, they do a lot of weird stuff too that like... And I don't mean weird in the good way. Just like... There's a lot of reasons why. Because David Lynch was kind of pressured by, I believe, CBS to stretch out the show. And to... Like when season 2 came out, they wrapped up who the killer was within like the first 10 episodes. And there's like 20-something episodes in season 2.
Oh.
And so the rest is like forced love interests or like a woman who disguises herself as a old Asian man from China that like, and then another guy who there's a lot of wasted time in the show. So much wasted time. And a part of that's intentional, I think. I think that some critics can say like, oh, that was intentional. But Alan Wake 2 does all that in a much more coherent, digestible way where it still has that mystery and unanswered questions and weirdness. But there's no fluff. There's no fluff in Alan Wake 2. And that's what makes it so good. And I'll jump into that more. For those of you listening, perhaps
really want you to make that video. Please make it.
I will. I'll start writing it soon.
Heyo.
This is what I'm thinking for the intro. I stand up. I'll go over here with a flashlight. I turn around. Cut here.
Yes.
Alan Wake 2 is Twin Peaks but better, and here's why. And before you get off your get on your high horse and start just go into the comment section telling me how terrible of a person I am. Listen to this. I love Twin Peaks, and Alan Wake 2 steals a lot. Unapologetically steals from it.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you're addressing that out the gate, because that's an important concession to make.
Yeah. Alan Wake 2 wouldn't be able to be as good if Twin Peaks never existed.
True.
And I don't know if I've ever told you this comparison before, but have you seen Dune, the Dune movie?
Yes, I really liked it.
And you've read the books.
Mm-hmm. Well, I read the first book.
Okay, I read the first 2 books, and I've talked to friends who've read the rest. It gets weird. Okay. And
I have read like the Wikipedia plots. I kind of spoiled that for myself, and you're not wrong. Like they go in they're very different books than from what Dune 1 was.
yeah, they kind of like build up a really cool, intriguing story in Dune 1, and then they kind of just go down the pooper with like weird side plots. Like the second book, I feel like it's such a letdown from the first book.
Dang. Okay.
It like, for those of you who have watched the Dune movies or read the book, spoiler alert again, but a big plot in the first book is Paul needs to well, here's a funny thing. The guy who plays Detective Dale Cooper, I think Kyle MacLachlan, he plays Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. He also plays Paul Atreides?
Oh,
In
yeah,
the
it's
old
Atreides.
Dune movie.
You're right.
Directed
Yeah.
by David Lynch. Interesting. It's all connected.
Interesting.
But the reason I'm talking about Dune is I think Star Wars, although it's kind of taken a weird path right now, Star Wars is Dune but better, and it also very much unapologetically, maybe even apologetically. I don't know if they fully admit how much they stole from Dune and the second book. Actually,
Interesting.
there's a whole twin thing in the second Dune book that's like Luke and Leia. And like the Force and stuff like that, and the desert planet and all these other things, and they even call drugs spice in Star Wars.
That's actually pretty funny.
If you can acknowledge, like I can, like Star Wars is better than Dune, then it's going to be an interesting video when I talk about Alan Wake being better than Twin Peaks.
Yeah, man. No.
It's going to be.
Let me hit you with this. I have an unfinished and uncompleted thought that's related to Alan Wake 2, and like I don't really like the thought, but I have to explore it because it intrigued me. It's because I was watching like review like at the end of the game. Sorry, what am I saying? For 2023. End of the year, people are doing it like the best games of the year. You know, Girlfriend Reviews did theirs. And something they said really jumped out at me. It was best story goes to Alan Wake 2, even though we didn't understand it. And it was something along those lines. And I sort of credit myself as like being really into Alan Wake, knowing a lot about it. Not as much as you, but like I've loved the Alan Wake games, and I kind of pride myself in like really getting into the story, making sure I understand it, right? And I sort of had this thought of like, does the plot to Alan Wake 2 actually make sense, or is it just weirdness for the sake of weirdness? And I don't know the answer to that, and it kind of scares me because I want it to be a bulletproof story because it's a bulletproof game, but just the story, I have so many questions that I'm just like, is this just weird for the sake of weird? Anyway, what are your thoughts?
That's a phenomenal question.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Twin Peaks for a second. Twin Peaks is very similar in a lot of that. Okay. There's a lot of unanswered things. And David Lynch is also known for Twin Peaks to like, I don't even think he truly knows what the things mean. But I was telling Rachel this the other day. When I would write songs for our band, I would write lyrics kind of to just kind of like be fun or experimental. And I found meaning later. It's like, oh, that could kind of mean this.
Okay, that's fair.
And so I think that what's fun about all this is the interpretations that can come from it. And I don't know if people could be right or wrong, but like I spent hours on Reddit after Alan Wake 2 to like just see people's thoughts and opinions on things. And that's the fun part. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily weirdness for the sake of being weird. I do think that like there are meanings that the creators have when they make this stuff, but the interpretation's totally up to us. And that's where it gets really fun. That's why I love Twin Peaks. Like, what does this mean? And you get to talk with other people like, well, wow, like there's this whole, I forget what it's called. I think it's called the White Temple or White Lodge. There's this whole White Lodge, and it's like this heaven hell sort of situation, and like it's repetitive in a loop almost, and it's terrifying. And also, when you get into certain rooms, it's not terrifying, and it's really fun to try to figure out what all this stuff means. Because when season 3 came out, I think a lot of people were hoping for answers for a lot of things. I think it just dug the hole deeper.
Nice.
But
I've
Lost. I watched like a 4-hour video on Twin Peaks after I finished it over the course of a few days, and I was intrigued the whole time because like there really is a lot of symbolism,
depth.
There's not accidents. Like there is a lot of very deep thought that goes into this weirdness. So I think from a stray viewer, yeah, it could be confusing. And also, I don't think Girlfriend Reviews played the first game, if I recall.
Oh, that's true. That I don't remember that, but yeah.
But yeah, it is weird, and it's so fun. It's so fun to be enveloped in mystery.
I think you're onto something there because like I think that sort of echoes my experience with Returnal, where I won't spoil anything for you, but it's no secret that plot-wise, story-wise, the game is very, I would call it abstract, very open-ended, and it is, I would say, intentionally weird, almost for the sake of weird, because they just want to leave it as like open-ended. It is intentionally open-ended, and you put your own meaning into it. That is the journey of Returnal. And so, like, I didn't really feel that from Alan Wake 2. I really feel at the core there is like rules and like laws of nature that they are like following, and like there is like a truth to it, but maybe that's so I don't know, maybe that's like the evolution of my question is like, is there, or is it truly we're gonna leave this intentionally open-ended in terms of what the dark place is and what the dark presence is, and why are they different, and what are their motives, and how it can't die, and how can we beat it? Anyway, so
you need to play Final Draft. You need to play Final Draft.
Oh boy. Okay. I mean, I do, and I really want to. I'm just playing The Last of Us.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't think there's a huge rush to get the Final Draft done, especially because the DLC. Who knows when it's coming out this year?
Actually, yeah, maybe I'll wait till the DLC. I don't know. But real quick, don't spoil anything for me. But does the Final Draft like add a good amount of like stuff, or is it just like a couple pieces of paper?
So yeah, when I did the Final Draft, I went on like online, and I was just like, okay, I want to make sure I don't miss stuff. Like, where are all these locations without spoiling things? I looked up where all the locations are, and there's a decent amount added. Like there's a couple other videos that you can watch that are interesting, and I think add more to the story. But the ending really does add a lot.
Got it.
There's also like a couple extra phone calls, I think. Free meeting will end in 10 minutes. That might be a good time to wrap.
That'd be a good time to stop. We've been doing this pretty well.
But it adds a really good ending, like so good. Because if you recall, Saga and Alan, when they were in the original story, they were like, okay, we need to come up with an ending that has a sacrifice that matches like the amount that we want to save. Like we have to find a way to write a sacrifice. So you find that out in the next one. You find out a lot of things at the ending there. It's very good. when I played Final Draft, I knew that I could beat Alan Wake 2. So I just played it on story mode. And I just whizzed my way through it, collected all the things, got platinum. And, yeah, did that. And I'm very pleased. I think about it every night. And I can't wait for the DLC.
And I think about it every night. That makes me happy. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm mainly going to do Final Draft just because, like, when I beat the game, I just wanted to play it more. Like, I thought it was a fun game. But I was mad that I had to start from scratch. But now with New Game Plus, I'm all about that, baby. So one of these days, I'm going to look forward to it.
If Remedy is ever listening to this and have a desire to do this, something I would love for them to do is to create almost like a Bright Falls life simulator where I could just go into Bright Falls or Cauldron Lake or Watery whenever I want, and like kind of have a bit of a purpose there, like sit and have a coffee with Rose, or go to the theme park when it's not a horror.
Taken or trying to kill you.
It's just such a nice world to be in that, like, after I beat the game the first time while I was waiting for the Final Draft, I would just go walk around Bright Falls and listen to the conversations people were having. It's very nice. It's nice to like go in the diner. And
yeah, well said.
I don't know. It probably wouldn't happen, but be great. I'll share this though. I had this idea because all these games are coming out with roguelikes. Alan Wake 2, I think, would make a great roguelike. But
it would
heaven
make
forbid you share that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, I 100,000,000% agree. I'm biased because I love roguelike games to begin with. But especially with Alan Wake, with the premise of it's not a loop, it's a spiral where you're caught in a loop that is changing a little bit. That's a very easy sort of like story plot standpoint to take in terms of game mechanics of employing a roguelike. Like, yeah, do it. It'd be so dope.
Alan Wake American Nightmare was a DLC that came out a long time ago after the first Alan Wake, and they had a kind of a roguelike where you survive like 10 minutes or 20 minutes inside this map.
Yeah,
against these
like a
enemies.
challenge mode, a gauntlet, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and it was fun. There was a good aspect to it, but man, it would be so cool in that. But heaven forbid you share that idea on the Alan Wake subreddit, because people tore me up. They're like, I'd rather them just make good DLC. Why can't we have both? I'm not saying we have to choose. I'm not
This
saying...
could be a good DLC.
Yeah, they were just... No, I don't like roguelikes. Like, believe me, I like a good roguelike, but no, this just doesn't sound good. Why? Why does that not sound good?
Dude. Well, next time you post something on Reddit, let me know, and I'll be the first to comment, and I'll be positive and agree. So people down the line might be, more likely to kind of gang up with us. I don't know.
Yeah. When you post on Reddit, well, you got to have a wingman ready to comment. That way people are maybe more... Are like, oh, okay, so people actually like this idea.
Okay, there's at least two
maybe I
people.
won't be a terrible person. Maybe I won't be a terrible person, and just totally knock down someone's dreams.
I'm gonna do that next time I post anything in Reddit. I'm gonna text you with the link. Go quick, comment something nice.
I will. Well, everybody, thank you for spending this time with us tonight, or this morning, or at your lunch break,
or while you sleep in osmosis. And you're listening to us.
Or while you poop.
Yeah. We've been getting gripped. We're going strong.
This has been a great opportunity for us to exercise and chat. We don't do it enough.
No, we don't. It's been a delight, Benjamin.
We're excited to start adding more content to the YouTube channel. You can watch our live streams, which maybe you don't think they're entertaining, but maybe you could let us know. You can let us know if they're not entertaining.
Tell us what to do. I don't know what to do in those things. Watch my Golden Doodle video. It's really cute.
If you want to feel just happy about life, that's a great video to watch.
It's a really good video to watch.
I think one of my favorite things you said in that video was, good boy alert.
Yeah. Good boy alert. Alert. Sound the alarm.
But yeah, everybody, Thank you. Don't forget to smash that like button.
Love and subscribe.
And yeah, until next time, we'll see you later.
Benedict, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you later, man.
Pleasure. Bye.
Bye.